So the next type of moving load we are going to consider for the analysis is a UDL longer than the span of the beam. For example, just imagine a train moving over a bridge. So the beam here is a bridge and the train moving on the bridge, which is longer than the bridge, is the UDL. And in this case, a UDL longer than the span is moving over the beam. So similar is the case we are considering here. A UDL longer than the span. A UDL of intensity W per meter is moving from left to right on a simply supported beam AB of span L. You can see the beam AB, it is having a span L, and you can see the UDL which is moving from left to right on the beam. It is having a span, it is having a length more than L. So the question will be usually like this: determine the maximum negative and positive shear force at a section C on the beam, and also the maximum bending moment at C. Determine the absolute maximum values of shear force and bending moment on the beam. So as in the last problem, we have to determine the maximum negative and positive shear force at a section C. You can see the section C here. It is a point on the beam AB which is at a distance Z from A. So we have to also calculate the maximum bending moment at C. And also we have to determine the absolute maximum values of shear force and bending moment anywhere on the beam, which means the ultimate values of shear force and bending moment on the beam when the UDL is moving over the beam. So we have to first of all know at what position of UDL the maximum negative and positive shear force at a section C occurs, and at what position of UDL the maximum bending moment at C occurs. ഈ UDL ബീമിൻ്റെ മേലെ എങ്ങനെ എത്തുമ്പോഴാണ്, എവിടെ എത്തുമ്പോഴാണ് സി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സെക്ഷനിൽ മാക്സിമം നെഗറ്റീവും പോസിറ്റീവും ഷിയർ ഫോഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത്, പിന്നെ അതുപോലെ ഈ UDLൻ്റെ പൊസിഷൻ എങ്ങനെയാവുമ്പോഴാണ് സിയിൽ മാക്സിമം ബെൻഡിങ് മൊമെൻ്റ് ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത്, പിന്നെ അതുപോലെ ആബ്സല്യൂട്ട് മാക്സിമം വാല്യൂസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ UDL ബീമിൻ്റെ മേലെ എങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടാവുമ്പോഴാണ്, സെക്ഷൻ സി മറന്നേക്കുക, ഈ ബീമിൻ്റെ മേലെ ഈ UDL ഏത് രീതിയിൽ വരുമ്പോഴാണ് ബീമിൽ എവിടെയാണെങ്കിലും മാക്സിമം ഷിയർ ഫോഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത്, മാക്സിമം ബെൻഡിങ് മൊമെൻ്റ് ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത്. അതാണ് ആബ്സല്യൂട്ട് മാക്സിമം വാല്യൂസ് ഓഫ് ഷിയർ ഫോഴ്സ് ആൻഡ് ബെൻഡിങ് മൊമെൻ്റ് എന്നുള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. So first of all, maximum negative shear force at C. So how to place the load to obtain the maximum negative shear force at C. Maximum negative shear force at C occurs when the head of the load is at C. We know that the load is moving from left to right. So this is the head of the load, this is the tail of the load. So when the head of the load reaches the point C, there will be the maximum negative shear force at C. When this UDL is moving from A to B, when the head of the load, the beginning of the load reaches C, there the maximum negative shear force at C occurs, which means when the load covers the portion AC only. You can see here in the AC portion, load has already reached this portion AC, but not crossed this point C. In this position, the maximum negative shear force at C occurs. And what is the value of maximum negative shear force at C? So the maximum negative shear force at C occurs when the head of the load reaches the point C, or when the load is on the portion AC only. And the maximum negative shear force at C, the value is W into the area of ILD in length AC. In the ILD, you can see here the ILD ordinate also we know. The negative ordinate is the negative maximum ordinate is Z by L. So the maximum negative shear force at C value is the load intensity W into the area of ILD in the length AC. That means the area of the shaded portion. This is the ILD for shear force at C. Using the ILD for shear force at C, we can calculate the maximum negative and positive shear forces at C. So here the maximum negative shear force at C is equal to W, that is the load intensity of UDL, into the area of ILD in length AC. As I already told, the load has now covered the portion AC only. The load has not crossed this point C. So the maximum negative shear force value at C is equal to W into the area of ILD in the length AC, or the area of the shaded portion. Now let's see when will the maximum positive shear force at C will occur. Maximum positive shear force at C occurs when the tail of the load reaches C, or when the load covers a portion CB. You can see as in the figure, this is a beam AB and this is a point C. So to have the maximum positive shear force at C, this tail of the load should be at C, which means the load should cross the completely cross the portion AC, and the tail of the load should be at C, which means the load should cover only the portion CB of the beam. So in this position of UDL, we get the maximum positive shear force at C, and the value of maximum positive shear force at C is equal to load intensity into area of ILD in length CB. You can see the ILD for shear force at C, and the ordinate in the maximum ordinate in the positive direction is so the ordinate for maximum positive shear force is L minus Z by L, and the value of maximum positive shear force at C is equal to the load intensity into the area of ILD in the length CB. So you can see the shaded portion here. So the load intensity W into the area of the shaded portion will give the maximum positive shear force at C. Now let's see when the maximum bending moment at C occurs. So the maximum bending moment at C occurs when the load occupies the full span of the beam. Simple, the load should fully cover the span of the beam. Wherever is the head and tail of the load, the UDL should fully cover the span AB, and in this case the maximum bending moment at C occurs. And you can see the ILD for bending moment at C here, and the maximum ordinate at C is Z by L into L minus Z. So to have the maximum bending moment at C, the UDL should fully cover the beam span AB, and the value of maximum bending moment at C is equal to load intensity W into area of ILD for bending moment at C. The value of maximum bending moment at C is equal to the load intensity W into the full area of the ILD as shown in the figure. So now about the absolute maximum values of shear force and bending moment. The absolute maximum negative shear force occurs at B when the UDL covers the entire span, and the value of maximum negative shear force is WL by 2. So obviously The absolute maximum positive shear force occurs at A when the UDL covers the entire span, and the values again WL by 2. Okay, so the maximum shear force, negative shear force occurs, positive shear force and negative shear force both occurs when the entire span is covered by the UDL, and the negative shear force occurs, the absolute maximum negative shear force occurs at B, and the absolute maximum positive shear force occurs at A, and the values are WL by 2. And about the absolute maximum bending moment, absolute maximum bending moment occurs at mid-span when the UDL covers the entire span. So again, the absolute maximum bending moment also occurs when the UDL covers the entire span, and the absolute maximum bending moment occurs at mid-span, and the value of absolute maximum bending moment is WL square by 8. So the absolute maximum negative shear force, positive shear force and bending moment occurs when the UDL covers the entire span. Just we need to remember the positions of these absolute maximum values and the values. So the absolute maximum negative shear force occurs at B, and the value is WL by 2. Absolute maximum positive shear force occurs at A, and the value is WL by 2, and the absolute maximum bending moment occurs at mid-span, and the value is WL square by 8. All these absolute maximum values occurs when the UDL covers the entire span. So now let's see the example problem for UDL longer than the span of the beam. Again, this is also a simple problem like the last case. Let's see the problem. A UDL of load intensity 10 kilonewton per meter and 10 meter long is moving across the beam AB of span 8 meter. The load intensity of UDL is 10 kilonewton per meter and the UDL is 10 meter long. It is moving across the beam AB of span 8 meter, which means obviously the UDL is longer than the span of the beam AB. So determine the maximum shear force and bending moment at a section 3 meter from the left. So the section is at a distance 3 meter from the left. So Z is equal to 3 meter. Also determine the absolute maximum values of shear force and bending moment. So the maximum negative shear force at C. First of all, we are going to find out the maximum negative shear force at C. So the position of load should be in such a way that the load covers the portion AC. The load should not cross, the head of the load should not cross the section C, and the load should fully occupy the portion AC. So we know the negative maximum ordinate is Z by L. Z is equal to 3 and L is equal to 8. L is the span of the beam. So 3 by 8 is the ordinate here. So the value of maximum negative shear force at C is equal to W into the area of the shaded portion. This area. So C is at a distance 3 meter from A. So this length is 3 meter and this ordinate is 3 by 8. So, and this is a triangle. So W into area of the shaded portion will give the value of maximum negative shear force at C. So we know that W is 10 kilonewton per meter. So W is 10 here, and the area of the shaded portion. This is a triangle. So area of this shaded portion is half BH. Half into B is 3 meter and H is 3 by 8. So the maximum negative shear force at C is equal to 10 into half BH. The substitute the values of B and H from the triangle, this triangle. So the value of negative shear force at C, maximum negative shear force at C, is 5.625 kilonewton. Don't forget to write the unit in all the values along with the values. So next is the maximum positive shear force at C. We know that to obtain the maximum positive shear force at C, the position of the UDL should be in such a way that the load should cover the portion CB, or the tail of the load should reach the section C. And the maximum positive shear force value at C is equal to W into area of the shaded portion. This ordinate, the maximum positive shear force at C, this ordinate is L minus Z by L, which is equal to 8 minus 3 by L, that is 5 by 8. This ordinate is 5 by 8, and this length is L minus Z, or 8 minus 3, 5 meter. So the maximum positive shear force at C is equal to W into area of the shaded portion. W is 10 again, and the area of the shaded portion, this area is again a triangle, so the area is half BH. Half B is 5 meter and H is 5 by 8. So the maximum positive shear force at C is equal to the load into the area of the shaded portion. Substituting all the values, we get the value of maximum positive shear force at C is equal to 15.625 kilonewton. Always remember to write the unit along with the values. Next is the calculation of maximum bending moment at C. So we know that to have the maximum bending moment at C, the load position should be in such a way that the entire span of the beam should be covered with the load, like in the figure. And this is the ILD for bending moment at C. The maximum ordinate of ILD at, for bending moment at C is Z by L into L minus Z. We know that Z is equal to 3 and L is equal to 8. So substituting all these, we get this ordinate to be 15 by 8. So to have the maximum bending moment at C, the load should cover the full span AB, and the maximum bending moment at C, the value is W into area of the ILD for bending moment at C. So W is 10, and the area of ILD for bending moment at C is the area as shown in the figure, the shaded area. And the area, this is again a triangle, and the area is half BH, and B in this case is this full length AB. AB is 8 meter, so half B into H, half 8 into H is this ordinate 15 by 8. So the maximum bending moment at C is equal to 75 kilonewton meter. The unit is a must. Now the absolute maximum values of shear force and bending moment. Absolute maximum negative shear force occurs at C, as I told, when the UDL covers the entire span, and the value is WL by 2, which is W is 10, L is 8, so WL by 2 is equal to 40. So maximum, absolute maximum negative shear force is minus 40 at B when the UDL covers the entire span. So similarly, absolute maximum positive shear force occurs at A when the UDL covers the entire span, and the value is equal to again WL by 2 is equal to 40 kilonewton. We should specify this occurs, where it occurs and when, and what is the value. When you go for the calculation of absolute maximum values, we should specify where the absolute maximum value occurs, and when the absolute maximum value occurs, and what is the value. And For absolute maximum bending moment, um, absolute maximum bending moment occurs at L by 2, that is at 4 meter from A or B at the midspan. So 8 meter is the length of the beam. The absolute maximum bending moment occurs at 4 meter and the value is WL square by 8. So W is equal to 10 and L is equal to 8. So the absolute maximum bending moment is equal to WL square by 8 is equal to 80 kilonewton occurs at the midspan of the beam. So this is about the second type of problem.